How many of these moves are completely proprietary that you created them?
I have a very good sense of how to put things together, right? I call it Fiji water. I can repackage water in a bottle. Shouldn't have made people billionaires, but it did. Why? The feeling you got, the visuals, the images, the whole story, the whole thing. The more you're going to think about that one, I hope you spend a day or two, it's going to get crazier and crazier to think that she could have picked Fanta, you could have picked any letters, all of it combined, all meant to be. I think that that's what's fun about it, is that you don't see where it's going.
How the fuck did you guys not pick different letters? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, how do you get me to the L? How do you get you to the G? How do you get you to the R? How do you get her to the Fanta?
You guys just chose whatever letter. You wrote it on your hand, right?
Yeah. So I'm telling you, you know what the craziest part is?
Would the white woman have picked a Fanta? I don't think so. I think you went to the minority on purpose.
Like, first Martin Luther King, then this.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm offended by the show.
And are you doing a different set? I mean, you have to do a different
My
set.
corporate set and what I do for air quotes a living when I'm doing events is I typically have like an A show, B show, and I don't want to call it a C show because you're gonna be like C show, but it's just different material.
Right.
But we live in an era where I don't need to change what I do very often. Comedians have a much higher level
Every time
of
we're in a market,
well, you burn a special, it's gone.
But when you come on a pod, like, so you can do maybe a variation of this that has the same tools.
Yep.
But they have to present themselves differently. Like, I've seen a lot of your stuff, and I haven't seen you repeating.
But if you don't
anything.
crack the code, you're down to see him do it twice.
I would watch you do this 14 more times, and if it was Fanta, I wouldn't even care.
Yeah. Next one's grape soda.
What?
Hey.
That one was great.
Okay,
Have you
go.
ever done an effect to someone and they are intentionally obstructive, and how do you handle that?
It's always the best. Like I went in one time and I did the Bengals. I did Joe Burrow and the Bengals, which is one of my most viral clips. And he wasn't, this is really funny because the guy hit me up on Facebook Messenger and he told me he was in the grocery store with Joe Burrow. And he's like, I have to share this with you. I was with Joe. And he told me, Joe, we were talking about it. And he goes, oh, I saw this mentalist. I'm a huge fan of his. Do you remember him? He goes, remember him? He goes, I spent 8 months trying to figure out how the hell he did that to me. And
That's awesome.
And I thought I knew how he did it. And then at the Super Bowl, I saw him backstage and he did something else to me and I realized I had no idea because everything I thought was completely like I had this theory and it was all wrong because he did it to me again, but with nothing. But
what do you do? I think what Mark is asking when someone lies.
It's important to understand. So that got into his head, but I never was able to meet Joe Burrow before. So most people think, which I go in fresh to most of these things. I'll do an event with 5,000 people. I didn't meet all these people.
Right.
You can't throw a Frisbee to somebody 26 rows. They stand up. I guess the name of their dog when they were 7.
Yeah.
And like have set that up unless you think that I got Tom Brady throwing Frisbees. Like how could that be?
Yeah.
So it's not set up. You have to be able to do this with anybody or you'll run out of career really quick. But with Burrow, I was not allowed to see him. I was told he would not be in the show. So they literally said to me, kind of the PR is like, Joe doesn't want to be in it. He doesn't want to do it. And I go, okay, let me do what I do. You do what you do. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get everyone fired up. I'm going to get him excited. I'm going to show that he's the leader. The team wants him to do it. And he's going to buy them. I guarantee you, same way that I walked up to tables at Zia's when I was 14 and people want nothing to do with me 2 minutes later when I'm leaving are like, please stay.
Yeah.
Right? That's the best feeling in the world. You don't want me. Now you don't want to let me go.
Yeah.
And so that's how you win over an audience, both in entertainment and anything you do in the attention economy. So I got him up, and that was something where I told, when I was on Joe Rogan, he's like, how long were you planning that? I go, 2 years, Joe. 2 years I was thinking how I was going to execute the ultimate football trick, which is quarterback, all my eligible receivers stand up, look at them, look at me, and I tell you who he's going to throw the ball to every time.
I saw the Josh Allen.
Yeah, the Josh Allen was crazy.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Okay, so 2 years you're planning the execution of that trick. So that means right now you are planning a trick that might come to fruition 5 years from now.
Yeah, if not 5 years is I don't have that kind of scale right now because I'm so busy. So again, it's knock on what's a good problem to have, but I just have so much coming up.
But is there somebody that you're planning a trick for that you can let us know that has been in...
Mahomes.
For how long have you been working on this one?
I met him 2 years ago, and I've been pretty much planning it since, and I know what I'm going to do. It's going to be nuts.
Oh, wow.
So viral.
And is there a specific thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a plan when that's going to come to fruition?
I sure, knock on wood, if they see this, hopefully this summer.
Wow.
Yo, Pat, come on, Flagrant and get
Yeah. I mean, holy fucking... I saw a clip, and I think it was you were on the Joe Budden podcast.
I was on Joe Budden.
And you did you guessed the producer's, like, nickname for his friend or something when he was...
Challenged me, too. He's like, I don't call him that. I go, you don't call him that? He goes, no, what do I call him? And I nailed it.
How?
How? Elders, see the God. I mean, how? There's a lot of how so far.
You know what I do like about what you do? I think what magicians did when we were growing up, and what the mentalists, we had a mentalist at a restaurant that we were all eating at, the three of us.
Yeah.
And we figured out his shit within like 3 minutes. But
Hopefully
it was
I
a
need
lot
3
of
hours.
like
3 hours for me.
They sell this illusion of magic. Oh, this is a mystical thing. We're all connected. Whatever thing they use is like you don't do that, which I like.
You
You're
break
like,
kayfabe.
Yeah.
They don't break the
yes.
kayfabe. Like
Yes,
it's
and-
like wrestling is real. That's what they're doing with a lot of magicians, which is also cool because you want to submit yourself to this. But I think because you don't have the props.
It almost makes it
Yeah.
more impressive.
Yeah.
And it's less like I don't have to submit myself to this idea that magic exists. I just submit myself to the idea that there's someone who's really fucking good at reading people and situations and whatever, and that's an insanely unique, cool skill to have.
Right,
That's
and
all
a
I have to say.
transferable skill.
Yeah.
So people always ask me, they're like, were you born this way? And I go, absolutely not. I've learned. I feel like I'm not showing you any love. I keep looking that way.
No,
Sorry,
it's
guys.
cool. It's cool.
Mark's scared of me still.
Is there
Even though
something?
he hurt my feelings, like I'm a Copperfield guy, not a mentalist guy. He's, cut me deep, Mark Gagnon.
Wait.
No, but so I fully, again, not to hype the book, but like I figured out over years, because I get asked the same question all the time, which is, how do you do this? How can I learn this? And I go, you don't actually want to learn this. And be like, what do you mean? Yeah, I do. And I go, no, you don't. Because let's say I showed you how to, have someone pick a dollar bill and have it be the phone number of somebody I just thought and all this. Well, where would you do that? Well, I really wouldn't do that because I'm not an entertainer. I go, well, what do you do for a living? And I go, well, customer success manager at a startup. I go, great. What would you like to achieve in the next 2 years? I want to get a raise. I want to go do this. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to make your chances of doing that 50, 60, 70% higher. Because what is all about? Relationships, how to read people, how to utilize kind of knowledge for that. Like, how do you walk in the room and take charge? The same thing I'm doing, if you could do it in your life, not performing, I assure you, you would see major results.
Yeah, and then the scale of what you do monetarily is probably way higher because a sales company will be like, pay this guy whatever.
No,
you know what I mean?
Well, how do you know when do you approach somebody to ask for a raise? That's such a simple question. But if you go to them on a Monday after they went on vacation, they're all that. Timing is everything in life, something I learned so early on. When do I hold on? You ask me, am I waiting? Yeah, I'll wait 2 years. I'll wait 4 years. But when I do that thing for Mahomes, it's going to be mega viral because it's all about picking your moment. And I think I learned that in the restaurants. I learned that in other parts of life. But that skill applies to everyone and everything.
So with the Joe Burrow thing, did you put it off? You got an opportunity before that and you said no? Or
No,
was
it
it
wasn't
just
that
that the
situation.
opportunity took 2 years?
The opportunity took 2 years, and I also didn't burn it on someone else because I could have tried to. But Joe Burrow is notoriously media shy. Not knocking him, he's a shy guy. If you actually meet him, he's super nice.
Very
but,
likable thing, actually.
Very likable, but he's just not.
Yeah, I like
some
that.
guys in front of the camera are boisterous.
want the spotlight,
He doesn't really give a lot off. So when you see him losing his mind,
Frazzled.
he also signed a $275 million contract the day before that hit. So everyone in the comments, my best comment, the one that got run up with like 30,000 likes, was some guy goes, dude, he paid him off. And I go, I wish to God I had enough money to pay off Joe Burrow to do this after his $275 million contract.
Yeah.
Mic drop. I was like, I wish.
Yeah.
There's no paying him off.
Does that frustrate you at all?
No,
Like,
I love that.
people trying to discredit.
That's the number one thing you could say. For people to say this was staged.
Yeah, that's the biggest compliment.
It's the biggest
It is,
compliment there
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And it's also the funniest because I've had hundreds of TV appearances. Have I staged it with every single person? Did I find some way to get, a billionaire to do this and Andrew Schultz to do this and Joe Rogan to pretend he gave me his PIN code?
Yeah. I use racism to guess things about audience members on stage
There it is.
sometimes, and they'll accuse me of it being staged, and I'm like, no, I'm just
Akash
racist.
is going to start doing a beverage thing where he goes whiskey, Fanta.
I can tell you right now who's
Yeah.
picking what.
Yeah. He just looked at me on kombucha. It was very offensive. I'm like, I live in Brooklyn, but I'm not Brooklyn, bro.